Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10, here live from James Alexander in southwest London, talking about the UK property market, what's happening, what have we seen, have we seen any trends, can we see what's happening with the UK property market this year? Well, it's a really difficult one to call, isn't it? I mean, the headlines today, we've got one from City AM, The Independent and The Sun saying house buying volumes have dropped compared to last year, according to the latest HMRC figures. It's not entirely surprising, I don't think. They say that it's gone down 14% in comparison with the previous 12 months. And the numbers are 10.5% lower than in March, according to the latest data. On top of that, foreign buyers are flocking back to London. So prime London is picking up massively as they return. Renters are facing tougher times than ever. And it is really eye-watering what people are now paying. Rents jumped 14.2% in London to an unbelievable £1,800 per calendar month on average. So rents are rocketing, and the private rental sector is struggling to cope with the levels of people coming into the market. And on top of that, we've got the government talking about possibly incentivizing buy-to-let landlords to leave the sector by giving them tax breaks. I think this is a mistake because we don't have the provision. So you take away more of the provision, you just exacerbate the problem. I think, yes, good idea, the idea of incentivizing pensioners to come out of big family homes, because a lot of the time we do visit people that would move, but just find the costs of moving are so great that there's no real benefit for them. And if they're in larger houses that families need, then that would free up the supply. So I think that's the end of the market that could really, really help. And also assisting first-time buyers, because it's a real struggle now. It's not so much about the actual rates, because they're similar, although they're very, very similar now. It is actually about the same to rent or to buy in terms of the monthly cost. Difficulty for most people is finding that deposit, and I think there needs to be a few more solutions thought of around that for young first-time buyers. But particularly with the advent of open banking, I'm hoping that all those tenants that are used to paying these heady rents every month can prove that via their open banking platforms, and therefore lenders will consider lending to them. Because there's been a problem for a long term now over buyers that can't get the mortgages, although they're paying what is way in excess of what they would pay on a mortgage in monthly rental costs. So that's something that I think might help to unlock it a bit. What do we see happening this year? What effect will monkeypox have? Well, initially everyone was saying with the pandemic, it will have no effect. Then it will have a massive effect. Then the market will fall because of it. And what we actually found was exactly the opposite, that the market actually increased. And that was the real shocker, wasn't it? Although the real key shocker was the Zoom Nation. The fact that people were moving out of London for the first time en bloc, and we were finding holiday type destinations going through the roof, whilst London virtually stood still and in some cases literally stagnated, in some cases went up slightly. But what we're finding now is with the opening up of the city and people coming back in, then London is a popular place to be, both to rent and to buy. And certainly there's no shortage of buyers out there. Plenty of people looking. So if you're thinking of selling, I can honestly say it's a great time to be thinking about it. Prices are strong. Buyers are out there. They're making buying decisions confidently. The main difficulty we have is the lack of stock. So if you are thinking of selling and you think it is now a good time, then it certainly is a good time in terms of selling. Finding, that's a different story. We're struggling to find properties for our clients that have sold, and that's a service we offer as well to try and help our clients to move up to the next rung in the ladder, be it in our area or other areas as well. There are various steps you can take to make it as easy as possible. And we're all about that, trying to remove the barriers and make the process as smooth and simple as possible for you to move from the current home, which I'm sure you love, but actually in order to move, you need to fall a little bit out of love with it, and you need to fall in love with a new place. And that's difficult, and it's an emotional challenge. It really is. I've got a client at the moment that we were talking about this just the other day, and they are so reluctant to get excited about the new property until we get their current one under offer. And I get that. It's such an emotive time, isn't it? They're scared to see their family in the new place for fear that their old place won't be gone. So we're all right behind them. We've got their back. We're going to sell it for them. And when we do, then we're going to help them find the next one. So excited about that. Always excited to take families on the next journeys and find out what their life's about, what they're doing. It's one of the great privileges of our job. I say this a lot, but it's true, is to actually be involved in people's lives at critical points. Sometimes it's very sad. Sometimes it's elation through perhaps they've got into a grammar school or a fantastic school, or perhaps they're moving areas or relocating. In fact, in one case, we've got one that's actually gone overseas to move in with someone, and they've taken a really gutsy move of coming out their comfort zone, going somewhere they've never really lived before to live with a new partner, and that's an exciting thing for them. So yeah, always a privilege and a pleasure to be part of what's going on in people's lives, and we never take it lightly. We know that for us this is every day, but for you guys this is something that's one-off, and we've got your back on it. It's what we do. It's what we do best. And that's the fantastic thing about using a small independent agency, because we are boutique, we are specialists, we are here, we're at the end of the phone. We're not some virtual answering machine that's going to put you in a queue and then hopefully you can send an email. No, you can get us on the phone every day. We're here in the office. That's why we come live to you every day, actually. So you can see that we're actually here, we're active, we're selling, we're renting. We love talking property. And if you've got one that you need to discuss, even if it's not in our area, you just want a little bit of chat, pointers, some advice, happy to help. Of course, we do auctions as well, and that's something that a lot of people have been discussing with us. And auctions is a fantastic backup, actually, if you're in a position where you really need to sell, but actually there's quite a long time frame. Sometimes what we do is put it on the open market, and then there's always the potential to flip if you find that you're not getting the result you want in the period of time that you want. And also, being that we do both sales and lettings and have done for the last 30 years, I honestly don't think there's anyone better placed to advise you on both the potential for rental, whether rental is good for you and your family, and the potential for sale, all in one visit. So if you're thinking about this, do give us a call, get me to pop round, pop the kettle on, we'll have a chat, no obligation, because our business is all about the long term. That's why we've been here for the last 30 years now, because people know us, they trust us. They know that we've got their back when it comes to their property needs, whether they're selling, renting, becoming landlords for the first time, whatever it is, we're here to help. So do get in touch. Hope you're having a good day so far. It's freezing cold here in SW16. Hope it warms up soon, and I hope you're well. Look after yourselves. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition. Until then, look after yourselves, and if you can, your family and friends. Ciao.